Hello, my comic catchers, the designer of Convict, bringing you guys and gals another video. So we're still kind of waiting. As you can see, everything is just waiting at the moment. We're just sat here. It's so weird. It's like I don't even know what time it is, but I've just been sat here going, "What do I do with myself? I'm so used to doing this, and this is the setup. Look, this is what I do." I basically move this over there. I sit here on a chair right here. I move this, sit on a chair right here, in front of the computer, come over. This is generally me like this, sat here on a chair, in front of the computer, doing my thing, closed curtains, little green screen behind me here, and everything. And there's the mini Go XLR, as you can see there. My headset, the webcam I use, the C920. This was what I used to use before, the Phantom Power, which is not good for this. I definitely recommend the Go XLR Mini because it does supply its own amp. Doesn't require an external amp source like the Cloud Fitter or the Phantom Power. It actually runs the power from its amp itself, which is really, really cool. But yeah, I've just been saying, I've got to wait. It's apparently coming up anytime from 2:30 till 5:30, the replacement from Amazon. So Amazon's replaced and giving, supporting me. Without them, I don't know how it would be. So salute to Amazon. I'd be stuck without a computer completely because I literally couldn't afford to do it. So thank God for Amazon is all I can say. That they actually allowed me to do what I do even though I've had it a while. Coming in clutch. So it is what it is. However, I did kind of want to talk about something that I did get. That's really, really cheap. Well, it's connected, is it? And that is this. Now this is a Zeexel. It's an actual switch. This is what it looks like from the front and back. I wasn't really going to do a video on it, but I thought, well, great, I'll do a video while I'm kind of bored and waiting and don't know what quite to do with myself and kind of show you what it is. So this is the Zeexel. This is the broadband router, which is also a Zeexel, as you can see. NetDoomer's down there as well. We've got the NetDoomer in the corner here. It is off though. I'm not using the NetDoomer at all. I haven't been for the past couple of live streams. So this is completely turned off. It's not even plugged in. So a little bit dusty. Need to clean that. It's a bit dusty. Been a bit since I've cleaned them down there. I always clean the PC, but I have not cleaned that down there for a while. So you've got this. Now the reason why I got this, the switch, this is a 1 gigabit switch, is I kind of wanted to test out a method. I was watching YouTube, and I'm always watching YouTube, generally, and I saw a video from Linus Tech Tips. We should all know who Linus is, I'm sure you do. But they were talking about building their own router, and that you can actually do it from old PC parts. So you can buy like an old computer and you can actually turn it into a router, which sounds really cool. And there's like some stuff you can, like a program you can download that you can install through the command prompt or something to set it all up, and you can run it as a router. But one thing they were talking about, not the router bit itself, but I kind of might try that at one point and make our own router. I am interested in that. That has it piqued my interest because I love my tech. So I think we might try that in the future and build our own router and see how that goes. Because the more powerful a router, obviously the more it can process, the more it can do. Sounds kind of interesting. Now I've got a spare 2600. I've actually got some spare Intel chips as well, which we could utilize. I was going to get them and show you, but I haven't got them into hand. The Intel I've got an Intel i5, and I've got a Gen 4 Intel or Pentium 4, I think it is. Yeah, Pentium 4 as well chip, which I've not done anything with them. They're just laying about, not doing anything at the moment. Kind of intrigued though to see if they work and to have a little dabble with them, but maybe we'll do like a little test bench or something, or a little test computer to plug things in and just see what works, what doesn't work, and kind of utilize them in the future if they do work, because that'll be interesting. But the i5 especially might be interesting to use that as a router or built in, but that's for the future anyway. However, going back, because I'm just spouting absolute BS now and I'm going to end up forget what I was talking about. I bought that to go with the router to see if it would benefit from having two separate devices, because one thing they mentioned on the tech tip when they were doing that pre-built router is that it's actually better to have the modem sometimes to be separate from the router, because obviously, as we all know, especially when you go to internet service providers, they generally have a combination of a router and modem built into one device. But sometimes maybe having it that way can be a lot of stress on one device to do the function of everything at once, from being a modem to feeding the internet to then obviously the switches on back of the modems to providing obviously the power and obviously the throughput of a connection from one to another, and then you've got the router and having to do the routing of all the devices and the QoS and whatnot as well on top of that, which is going to be a lot of pressure on one single device to do that and do it obviously at an extremely fast rate. So when I was watching him do it and they were talking about saying obviously have your modem and then have that pre-built router that they did, but they had a switch as well, and they had them all separate. So they had a separate modem, a separate switch, and then obviously that router, which was basically it was a computer tower that they just loaded software onto, and that's what was doing it. And then the switch was obviously outputting to the devices. So I kind of got intrigued by that. So I went and bought it because it was only cheap. It's only 20 quid, this one. So it was very cheap, and I thought I'd buy it. And it's got its built-in QoS and everything. I've looked at the reviews on Amazon. A lot of people have praised it for its reviews on Amazon and said it's really, really good. So I was like, okay, we'll try it. And I do have a previous Zeexel, so it's kind of pointless me to get a TP-Link or a Netgear version when I've got Zeexel. I might as well use another Zeexel with a Zeexel so that they obviously complement each other. And then we'll see how we go in terms of that and see what we can do with the internet with that. So yeah, intrigued. I'm always intrigued. My mind's always ticking and I'm always like, I wonder if I can do better. I wonder if that could do better. I would love to make my own controller. What would I do if I made a console? You know, all these little things. I'm like, I would love to do that. You know, I think in the future I would love the idea if I could make my own console, or at least make a. I've gone through like many iterations. Like, I'd love to make my own console. I'd love to make my own controller. I'd love to make my own VR headset. All sorts of like things floating through my head that I would love to do. I wish, you know, I was big enough in terms of where I am on YouTube to be able to, you know, reach out and do those kind of things with a company and kind of get a company to work on it and work with them and develop something that would probably be really, really awesome and cool, and bring out, you know, a lot of information to look, this is what we're doing, this is where we are at, and kind of have my fingers in lots of pots and kind of doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of everything else, and, you know, see where it goes from there. It'd be really cool. But I have to, you know, get out there and get it done, and stop sort of like expecting things to come to me. As always, I've kind of got to get out there and get it done. So, you know, we'll keep on trying, and I'll have a look at ways of making that a possibility, because I would really love for it to succeed, and to be able to do those kind of things. So, you know, maybe in the future we'll be able to push on and do stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just spouting rubbish as always. I just don't know what to do myself. I'm just sat here, and it's like, you know, if I got a console, I could have probably done console and recorded through console and then uploaded it. I'm just now sat here twiddling my thumbs going, what do I do myself? You know, what do I do? And I think number one thing I'm definitely going to be doing is going on to an insurance site and insuring these equipment for further damage. In a case that anything happens to it, it can be replaced, is number one priority right now. To make sure that they get replaced just in case anything does happen. So that's number one thing I'm doing, and then we'll go on from there. So all fun and games, but see where we go. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to me blab on for 11 and a half minutes, probably going on 12, 13 and a half minutes. But there we go. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this will be working as from today. I'll let you know later if it is, and then obviously go back to live streaming tomorrow. I'll probably do an opening of the new motherboard, probably do a video on that as well. A little bit more content for you. I know people tend to like this kind of content, so salute to you all. Thank you very much for coming over and joining. Thank you, and big salute to our members, obviously, and to our member who wanted the OBS settings. I see you. You liked the video, so I appreciate it. Hopefully it helps you out. I know it was a bit waffly, but I kind of like to always explain in depth, because it's easier and better to do that than it is just to say, go here, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, done, go, sort of thing. It's better to explain what it does, how it works, and then you can decide whether or not, yes, I want that, no, I don't want that, sort of idea. Anyway, bye for now.